Welcome to the Throwdown. We finally have a way for everybody doing the throwdowns to get on a leaderboard, so stay tuned to learn how.
At home, throwdown 3. 20-minute AMRAP, 10 V-ups, 240-foot shuttle run, I'll explain that at the end, 10 V-ups, 120-foot broad jump, 10 V-ups, 60-foot handstand walks, so as many rounds you can get through in 20 minutes. For the distances, we're setting up a triangle 20-foot lengths each way. You have your lead cone. Every time you get back to it, you have to change direction. So on the run, you're gonna run one triangle. Once you get back to the cone, turn around, run back. Same on the broad jumps. Some standards. For the broad jumps, you have 4 jumps max per length. You can take less than that if you want. For the handstand walk, 2 kick-ups max per length. If you come down more than twice, then you have to restart that length. But if you want to do it unbroken, go for it. If you want to turn around the cone, good luck. Like I said, change direction at the start cone every time. But if you do have full equipment, check out Throwdown 42.
3, one more. 4, nice.
Joining Think at home Throwdown 3!
To get on the Throwdown leaderboard, head to trainingthinktank.com/throwdown. While you're on the website, if you want one of these sweet new Saturdays for Throwdown shirts or a crop top for females, they're on there. Also, coming next week, we got a surprise competition called the Quarantine Classic. If you sign up for the Throwdown leaderboard, you can participate in that for free. Right now, Chandler Smith, Noah Olson, Travis Mayer, Will Morad, and the whole Training Think Tank crew are already committed to doing that, so join us there. This week, I'm the demo. Tell me, Max, what's your strategy?
My strategy is to keep moving for 20 minutes. This is a little bit of an uneven handstand walk, so hopefully I could do those in 20-foot unbroken segments. I'll just jog the runs, the V-ups. I'll try to do unbroken for as long as I can. And the broad jumps, I'm gonna bunny hop probably 3 to 4 feet at a time, because if I actually broad jump, I'll be tired after a minute. So we'll see how it goes. I'm probably gonna beat everyone. That's how this goes.
Those are some pretty V-ups.
Thanks, man. I'm basically a gymnast.
I can't, my body just doesn't bend that way.
So our standard on these is your heels and hands have to touch the ground and then meet. You have to touch any part of your foot. You're so athletic. With only your butt touching the ground. So you have to get your lower back off the ground, which may be hard for some people.
I don't feel like there's going to be much separation in this run. You can't really accelerate in 20 feet. And if you do, then you have to like really throttle down and change directions. So I think that for most people, this is just going to be a leisurely little jog around their setup.
How many more of these?
I'm going to sprint it to get out in front.
I just got dizzy watching that.
How sore were your abs after doing this? Or
Honestly,
hip flexors?
they weren't that bad. My hip flexors got,
Yeah,
like,
it's a lot of compression.
yeah.
9, 10.
In the forest with your under the sea blanket.
Yep. Easter bunny theme. Here I am as a giant bunny.
So Mia wrote this workout. What's the standard for these broad jumps?
So you have 4 jumps to make it across each 20-foot length. You don't have to use all 4. You can use 3 like Max is doing. You can do 2 if you're super hoppy.
Yeah, you could jump
So Kyle Ruth maybe will do it.
2 consecutive 10-foot broad jumps to get across in 2. I don't think that's going to happen.
So
Yeah.
as you guys can see, the run was easy, but this looks a little bit more challenging now that you get to the broad jumps.
Oh man, these got way more challenging. And we hadn't had the 4 jump standard by the time I did this. It was just jump, and I just happened to be jumping 3 times, and then we set the standard. So I met the standard retroactively, but I think doing 4 would be in your best interest, which is like a 5-foot broad jump per jump, which is not really that far. And I think most people should be able to do that. But if not, you can just scale and do bunny hops across. Perfect for Easter.
So now handstand walking. The standard on this one is you have your hands need to start behind the cone or soccer ball, and you have 2 kick-ups to make it each 20-foot length. So wherever, if you come down, just hands start in the same place, and if you don't make it in 2 kick-ups and you have to start that length over again.
Yeah, I don't think people will be turning. I think it doesn't really make sense to turn around this and just basically do it in 20-foot segments. And if you're a really good handstand walker, just take less rest than I took. It was actually really difficult. I'm so used to handstand walking on a perfectly level, flat rubber mat, and this was like a little bit slanted. You can't really tell where Mia is. And this last segment, I was like, kept drifting downhill to the right. It was way more challenging than I thought, but I was determined not to fall.
I thought you did well with the handstand walks.
Yeah, you moved at a pretty good pace. I like kicking down. I don't really think there's any point in going all the way through, like you said, because it is actually faster to kick up and like have a couple fast steps, and then you're already halfway through that 20-foot segment. V-up still looks so pretty, Max.
I don't know about that. I know somebody's gonna be like, point your toes. I'm like, no, then my toes are farther away from me then. Yeah.
You're definitely meeting the standard.
This is your mile pace?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's my PR. Yeah, I don't know. Like even watching this, I'm like, you're running so slow, man. But I don't know if I would even like go back and change that. Just feel like it makes sense to kind of lumber along.
You could take longer strides.
You could have been a better judge.
How was I a bad judge? I gave you like
You weren't.
three words of encouragement the whole time.
Very encouraging. And you called me out. This also too, if you're doing V-ups, don't do V-ups on a downhill because my butt kept sliding down towards the tennis courts, and I was like, I can't get my back up.
Do you guys get like a little rub rash when you do these?
Only ab mat sit-ups without an ab mat.
Oh,
like
man, it's bad.
You jump in the shower and you got a little raspberry on your butt crack.
Without an ab mat?
Ab mat sit-ups.
Without an ab mat?
Well, then they're just sit-ups. Chris just had a look of disgust on his face
How
at my
dare
stupidity.
you.
How dumb can you be?
A little break?
Yeah. These are like heart rate city. I am a much better Easter bear than Easter bunny.
We should do a broad jump, mile for everyone in one of these at-home workouts.
That would be terrible. Oh man. So just for reference, you finished your first round at 3:09. So we can compare.
don't think I sustained my paces.
No, you started taking long rests between your hops.
Mia, until I see you bunny hop and beat me in this workout, I'm not gonna listen to your shit. This was actually nice that I could lay down in a workout.
I like that you're finding the silver lining in all things in life.
Ooh, I get to sleep in the middle of a workout.
Also nice that you could be outside with these beautiful trees and the spring weather.
Yeah.
It was good weather.
Yeah,
that
it was.
day.
It was really nice. Yeah, this was the break where I was like, after the V-ups, my abs were kind of cramping, heart rate was pretty high, and I was like, all right, I gotta get my shit together. Gotta make these walks.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest separator in the workout, would you say?
Yeah, I would think so. I think for most people. The bunny hops, the bunny hops were the hardest part for me in terms of just like energy production, but I don't feel like, somebody just jumping and not taking any rest will save like, 15 seconds maybe total per round, which I guess over 5 rounds is still a minute, 15 seconds, but I feel like a lot more time would be wasted and lost here.
Oh yeah, you could save 30 to 45 seconds a round depending on how fast or slow you are.
Yeah, and how long the breaks get in between.
Once when Mia sent me this workout, I was actually really excited because there are some odd movements, and it's kind of what people may look at as like, oh, that's a silly setup with the triangle. But I think what it kind of does for us is like, hey, look, even if you're at home with no equipment, there are still plenty of ways that you can, one, test your fitness, but two, also just like get out and move.
Yeah, it is nice actually to do some of this stuff that doesn't require being in a gym, being in gym equipment. I think just getting outside, getting sun, getting fresh air, changing direction. Like I know it's not a fast run, like it's not, but just like moving your feet in different than a linear pattern, I feel like is just a good thing for like overall health, hip mobility, Like that's not a super fast cut or anything, but you still have to.
It's more of a loop than a
Yeah,
cut.
yeah.
But you're turning, and I mean, I
Yeah.
agree completely. We're, especially in CrossFit, almost always stuck in one plane. So being able to kind of change directions and rotate is really, really good for athletes.
Yeah, when you do like this change of direction speed, probably wouldn't do it. But if I did like 3 cone drills like this at full speed with cleats on, my hips would get super sore.
yeah.
So I think just for like maintenance of health and just overall mobility, this is just a good thing to sprinkle in. And now's the perfect time to sprinkle it in because you can't be at the gym.
Sprinkle, huh?
Yep.
Is Lily out here? I don't see her.
She
No.
wasn't invited. She
That's
is not my friend.
Well, you make her pee every time you wrestle with her. Poor thing.
She knows.
She's like, this giant bear is messing with me.
She can feel my hatred. Starts with the broad jumps. I don't know why I went in opposite directions. So 20 feet, that means my jumps are like 6.5 feet per. Some of the times too, I would get to that third jump and be like, oh, it's a lot closer. I don't need to jump as hard. And that little step into the jump is definitely helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some people are going to underestimate how challenging those will be because you're still putting a lot of force in. Like if you're jumping 6.5 feet, that's not a short, broad jump.
Yeah, and you're recoiling right into the next one.
Right.
The other thing too, like my lower abs and hip flexors, you don't realize when you jump and you have to pull your knees forward to jump again. How like that
Nope.
was really
Nope.
yeah. That was the one where I was like, no, that's gonna be on camera. Let me take a little longer break and not do that again.
Can we restart?
You put that in slow motion.
Was this one of those 20-minute workouts that felt like it inched by, or did it go by kind of fast?
Well, when you said 3 minutes or like 3:09 after my first round, I was like, oh fuck, this is gonna be so many V-ups. But I kind of got into a rhythm at some point. The V-ups definitely got harder. My hip flexors and abs really got tired, but I felt like it was kind of just like smooth, continuous motion.
Except for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Not me being smooth and continuous, but
I feel
attempting
like
to
that's
be.
how your last rep is how all my V-ups feel.
You feel like you're falling
It's almost
forward?
like I'm trying
Yeah.
to control, the entire movement, whereas like you on your first couple rounds look really smooth. So that's why I was saying they actually do, in my opinion, look good.
I think the speed of them too, like that, I'm not like trying to move fast, but I think some people might just be like slow and deliberate, and you might actually, I mean, there's 150 of them. So if you're even a quarter of a second or half a second slower per rep, it could
big
make
difference.
a big difference.
Yeah.
So maybe that is actually a big separator. And breaks in there. I think I took 2 breaks in there. One of them was accidental because I just lost my balance, and the other one was planned. And I think there were a bunch of them probably starting from here where I would do like 7 or 8 and then finish with 2 or 3. So if you have superb V-ups, you can probably do 10 every round, save a little bit of time.
But
Are
can
those
you
public tennis
handstand
courts?
walk as fast?
That's
For
for
your
my
neighborhood?
little neighborhood, I think.
This is the one you asked
and
if it
Josh.
counted.
Yeah, I asked if that counted because I came like inside the line technically, and you said yes, so I was
I
happy
gave it
about
to you
that.
because you're handstand walking on a slope.
Yeah. I wanted to uphold. What'd you say about my tennis courts?
I was gonna say that you and John should start challenging people in tennis.
Me and John?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Jean that walks around the neighborhood or something. Call her out. Jean,
You think you're
now.
good at tennis? Come get an ass whooping.
I think- Sorry.
Go ahead. Too much silence.
Yeah. This is my favorite part of the workout. Just watching.
Actually, well, when I looked at this workout, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so much running and so much broad jumps. The broad jumps sucked, but every time I got to the run, I was like, oh, it's just a little like trot in the woods. Like I'm just lumbering along.
Turn around every now
Yeah.
and then.
I
Can we talk
really-
about your cones?
a soccer ball, my skateboarding helmet that I use to ride my bike, and a baseball that I use to practice throwing left-handed with. I didn't feel like getting cones. See, that's improvisation.
Max
folks.
only throws left-handed. Or you have another baseball for right-handed throws.
Yeah, that's just specifically left-handed one. I have noticed lately, because I've been throwing more, how deconditioned or unconditioned my shoulders are for throwing. So that's another little like fitness value add for you. Doing something like this, you can bring balls to be your cones and you can throw them around to make sure you can learn how to throw. Remember how to throw.
I mean, I think it's just good for shoulder health long term.
Yeah.
Obviously not like pitching in a baseball game, but for those that are doing CrossFit, they're always hanging, they're always
Yeah.
doing stuff overhead. Just learning how to get into better positions to create torque in the shoulder in a healthy way is worthwhile.
And just have good overall body rotation.
Yeah. That's why I golf.
Yep. All right. How long are these breaks?
You get kind of long.
13. That was only 6 seconds.
Looked longer.
I bet you I would beat you in this workout.
You probably would, because your handstand walks would be way faster.
Can you say that again real quick for everyone?
Just once.
I think I'd probably beat Brandon too. Can you jump 20 feet into
I actually don't know. I would definitely take all 4 jumps though.
Yeah. Kyle afterwards was like, you should have bunny hopped the whole way. Bunny hop meaning that 1 foot jump, just trot along. I wonder though if you would actually get a better score like that. I think you probably would.
You would look sillier,
Yeah.
for sure. So you've kind of settled into about 4-minute rounds now. After your first one, that seems to be what you maintained-ish.
What was that last round?
Your last one, you ended at 10:56, and then this one, we'll see what time you end.
Oh yeah, the handstand walk's the end of it, right?
Yeah. There were a lot of bugs in my face. I keep swatting.
Yeah, I keep seeing you move your hand.
Yeah, I spit a lot in this, and then every time I spit, I was like, oh no, I shouldn't be spitting.
That's what she said.
That break was pretty clean.
Yeah.
Your handstand walks have really improved. We did some handstand walks yesterday in one of the design workouts, and you were, what, 75 feet in 28 seconds, 30 seconds,
Yeah, I
something
think
like
it
that?
was 29, 30, 31
Yeah.
unbroken.
I mean, that's
so.
pretty fast.
You have good handstand walk speed. You're kind of like a bulldozer on your hands. Just kind of.
Get out of my way.
Yeah. I'm kind of just like a bulldozer as a human in general. Yeah, I'd like to be a little faster,
So
but
14:59.
all right. So that's about a 4-minute round, right? 4:03. Yeah, I feel like that. I kind of settled into like, all right, well, I got to move for 20 minutes, so like I can't really go any faster, and my hip flexors are dying.
7.
I did give you a few warnings on your V-ups to get your lower back up.
Yeah,
But you listened and you didn't yell at me, so that was good.
I'm pretty good at just accepting no reps.
Years of practice.
Yeah,
Dedication.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
reps.
And just like, whatever. Fine, I'll do more. Give me a good excuse at the end if I lost. Be like, well, I got 5 no reps. It's the only reason I lost by 4 minutes.
Man, that is such the CrossFit excuse.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you were mentioning 20-minute workouts and trying to kind of figure out how to settle in. I think that's one of the hardest things. And let's say this was an open workout. Obviously, the movements would probably be different. But like the 20-minute workout in 20.2, I think a lot of people didn't realize how fast they had to go and how fast they were able to go. And so the first attempts for a lot of people were slower. They went back out and there wasn't that much more pain, but they're like, oh, I could hold, maybe 10 seconds faster per round. That gave me an extra round and a half or 2 rounds. So something, I think it's worthwhile in a setting like this to kind of push yourself the first 5 to 8 minutes and then see if you can settle into that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like with these movements too, you're probably not going to get to like failure. Your core is definitely going to get super fatigued and you're not going to need breaks, but I don't think you're going to fail to be able to pull your toes up. So I think if I were doing this again, I'd probably just start out faster. I don't think I would take less time breaks here. I mean, you said they got long, but let's see what this one is.
It was 3 breaths, because that's what I kept yelling at you
Okay, yeah.
to
So
pace
that was
at.
7 seconds. So I think I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 seconans. Some people might just continually broad jump around,
Yeah.
right? That's just a lot of force. This is like an excuse thing, but being 230 and jumping that much and running that much definitely makes a big difference. So I think like each time I got across, my heart rate was like, needed to slow down.
I mean, you've kept your rest breaks pretty linear, so that's 7. This one's a little bit longer than 7 seconds, but I think that's probably where most people will be. If you want to take advantage of being good at some of those movements, if it is like, hey, I'm lighter, my broad jumps feel good, then you should just try to like, I know it's 120 feet, I'm going to get through these as quickly as I can and then take a break after.
Yeah. Pretty good amount of jumping though. So for 4 jumps, it'd be 24 straight broad jumps.
Yeah.
That's doable. But it'd probably be a pretty big heart rate spike.
Oh, for sure.
I love the Michael Bay editing here of being at a different distance away to really get the nice look at the enchanted forest that we're doing this Easter throwdown workout in.
Look how much
Next
smaller
to the
you guys
tennis
look.
court.
Yeah.
We did have the option of getting onto that tennis court, but Max said he wanted to do it on the grass in solidarity to everybody else who didn't have a flat surface.
Yeah, I wanted to be one with nature.
I think it's worthwhile too, testing your handstand walking on different surfaces, because I've been to competitions. They've changed now with them becoming bigger and bigger, but some local competitions you're doing it on grass and it is uneven.
And it's a big difference for your hand and wrist to hit into something soft versus hit into something hard, and it kind of throws off your shoulder position a bit. So I think it's definitely worthwhile to play with. This slant just really, the camera does not do justice to this
Yeah,
slant.
it was really slanted on
Yeah.
that length. And
All right,
your
1
sprint
minute.
finish.
1 minute countdown. Ooh, do you sprint this last run?
I jog. I jog a little faster than I was jogging before. I don't know.
I did your-
I don't know if I could sprint this without cleats anyway. Oh, and this is where my abs were like, oh my
Started
God.
locking up.
Out, and she was like, come on, 40 seconds. I was like, you don't understand.
It's a faster,
Yeah.
A
faster
mild
shuffle.
increase in
Yeah.
pace.
Well, the thing is, in tennis shoes on this grass, you can't really do that fast. Because
Yeah,
you
you
can't
start
cut.
sliding.
If I went fast
Yeah.
and I tried to cut, my feet would probably just slip out from underneath me.
You're taking a little sharper of,
Come on.
kind of.
Oh,
No rep.
No rep. Mia moved it back for me.
so anybody that doesn't hit a cone, you win.
Yeah, but you got to be 5 rounds in there. That's my.
2, 3, 1 more.
And great finish.
Did it.
20 minutes of fun, guys.
And then I slept here for the next hour.
It was fun. It's a pretty tough one. I don't know on this type of thing if my my strategy was necessarily something that was like I deviated or didn't deviate from it. It was more like a mind state of just keep moving. The toes or the V-ups got real tough on my lower abs into the jumps. We're gonna set a standard that you got to get across in 4 jumps. I did 3 every time, and the rest breaks between got pretty hard to like convince myself to start jumping again, but it was manageable. The handstand walks on the uneven terrain were pretty tough, but I set a challenge to try to do 20 feet unbroken, and I did that every round, so that was good. The runs, I was kind of just meandering like a lumbering elephant around. I think I did that successfully. My first round was like 3 minutes, and I only got 4+, so that means I fell off. So I'd encourage people that watch this to maybe go a little bit slower to start, prepare for your V-ups to break down a little bit. And it sounds like Mia's raising her hand because she's got something to say. Oh, I finished 5 rounds. Oh, I finished 5 rounds. So maybe I didn't blow up as bad as I thought, but still, that
Holy
would be,
mosquitoes!
that's still a pretty fall off because if I did 309 on my first round, that means I averaged like a 4-minute round. So I'd still encourage you to slow down a bit, but it was fun. It was a good challenge, and hopefully it can get you outside in nature a bit and get a nice fun setup. So now that we got the leaderboard, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna enter my score. So I got 283 total reps, and then I'm gonna go into my notes and I'm gonna say that's 5 rounds plus 28 reps, which is V-ups, run, and 6 V-ups. Then, how hard was it? I'll say it was about a 3 out of 10. As prescribed, save it in there. And then I'm gonna go over to the leaderboard, and I'm right at the top where I should be.
And Project Pat, as always, please take us away.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Pata in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button, let it be known, what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Pata.